So starting us off at number 10, we have a poop eater. Okay, so I cannot stress how important punctuation is. Our first dumb Facebook post highlights this point perfectly. Sandeep posted to say, wake up, eat poop. School, eat, school, poop, running, work, 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 eat, poop, sleep. I mean, without commas, it very much sounds like he was straight up eating poop twice a day. What he meant to say was, wake up, eat, poop, school, eat, school, poop, running, work, 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 eat, poop, sleep. I mean, weird still, but different. Like his friend Iris said, it really did sound like he was having a healthy dose of poo twice a day, which is something you really want to avoid on social media. Never admit to it.
Okay, so genuinely I'm hearing these for the first time as well, because I'll script like 5 or 6 of them, Rebecca will script like a few of them as well, and I'm just over there just laughing. These things are just ridiculous, but let's move on. So right now, moving into number 9, we have this post that says, just found out that my birthday is the same day as the day I was born. Life is crazy. Ha ha. And then you see some blue hearts. You know what's so crazy? My birthday, I found out too, is the exact same day that I was born. Rebecca, when is your birthday?
Well, it's actually, you won't believe it, the same day that I was born. And guys,
no.
It's tomorrow, the day that we're recording this, but by the time it goes out, it's probably in the past.
Long gone. So your birthday is the exact same day as you were born?
Mm-hmm. Jan 7.
We're 3 for 3, guys. You know what? It almost seems like everyone's birthday is the same day you were born. I wonder if anyone explained this to her, but for now, let's move on. Alright, number 8, this person said, does anyone actually use Google+? I need one for a job, lol. Then someone replied to that saying, WTF is Google+, in which they replied with, stupid social networking. And finally, you get this stupid post. This person said, social networking sites are stupid, I never use them, that's why I like to stick with Facebook. Well, I think someone needs to teach this person that Facebook is a social networking site, and what you hate, you're actually using. And I also question what jobs these days you need Google Plus account. Could you imagine going into the interview and the person's like, hey, you got Google Plus? No?
In at number 7, we have some seriously cute hair. A Facebook user wrote, I cuted my hair and it went back to curly. A confused friend then asked whether she meant that she'd cut her hair, to which she responded that it was, and I quote, past tense. Past tense. I mean, what is past the tense? I don't know. I feel like she meant past tense and she actually meant she cut her hair. I'm confused. Cuted and tense. What a double whammy of dumbness. Good on you, honey. Moving on to number 6, we have a very lonely Alaska. A Facebook user who won't be winning any prizes for geography wrote, did anyone used to think that Alaska was an island? Totally argued with someone for about an hour about it. Thank you, map of the US, for making me feel dumb AF. Their friend then responded by saying, wait, it's not? To which the original poster agreed that it was a simple mistake, saying, like, the map for real shows it all by itself, not connecting to anything. So shall we talk about the giant elephant in the room? That is, Canada. Yeah, Alaska is connected to Canada. That big space above the USA isn't the ocean. No! To be totally fair though, some maps of the USA do put Alaska and Hawaii to the side, but people surely don't think that the US is just one big floating island. They know that it's connected to other stuff, right?
Take a look at this next post at number 5. We have Casey, who posted this picture of herself in a tiny black dress. You know, she's trying to look her best. And she said, after abortion and still looking hot as hell. I think there's just so much wrong here. First of all, I'm sure this was like a huge spark, a huge debate whether or not abortion is a good thing. She's promoting that she just went through an abortion. And second off, when you have an abortion, you should be doing it during your first trimester of pregnancy, meaning within the first 8 weeks. Around that time period, you know, you're not really gaining the weight there because the baby is very small and just starting to develop. So Casey, yeah, you would still be looking, as you said, hot as hell because you didn't go through with giving birth.
I feel like that's less of a case of her being dumb, but just being extremely unclassy. In at number 4, we are getting very happy. We have one user who thinks there's no I in happiness. Except for the I mean literally in the middle of the word. Friends of the user wrote, "Aw, honey," which is pretty much my response. Then another frank talking friend wrote, "There is if you spell it right, you nut," which, I mean, Fair.
Number 3, this next one I thought is very funny, but it needs to be reevaluated. Jen took it to Facebook to say she's very excited to find out if tomorrow if she'll be an aunt or an uncle. First of all, how is Jen so confused unless she's having like an identity crisis? Okay, so for now, let's just assume that she is a female. If you're a female and if your sibling is having a kid, you're automatically gonna be an aunt, right? Am I right, or is this like ludicrous? Well, according to Jen, I'm super wrong because she kept replying to people and she even had an update for everyone. She said she is gonna be an uncle. Ben and Sal are having a baby boy. Is this real life right now? What just happened? Why is Jen so confused in this situation? Well, you know what? Let's not take away from her excitement. This is gonna be a lot of work to become an uncle. A lot more than she thinks.
So London, I actually just found out that I'm gonna be an uncle today.
Oh yeah?
My sister's having a boy.
Oh, congrats, uncle!
So I better get started on that area of things.
Yeah, you gotta
right
just
now.
like start shaving your
Strap
head.
down.
Get rid of that and just be more uncle-like, you know?
We are moving on to number 2. Ground control to Major Tom. Someone needs to explain gravity to Rachel, who wrote, how come the water at the bottom of the Earth in the South Pole doesn't fall off the Earth and go into space? I mean, babe. She then commented saying, Google isn't helping me. Again, some simple science would clear that right up. Does she not wonder how her bath water stays in the bath and how her tap water conveniently comes out? What is also concerning here is that she seems to imply that she doesn't know that the Earth is a sphere, which, yeah. Perhaps she ought to Google how gravity works and the shape of the Earth. I feel like they will answer so many questions for her.
And finally, we have this at number 1. We have Goodbye America, hello New York. Clearly this person isn't great in geography. I wish someone asked this person what country New York is in just to find out what their answer would be. And I'm finding it hard to even guess what they would say. Like, did you think you went over water? Did you see a little like river and like, oh, I went overseas, we're in New York, UK. Do you think you're in Europe right now? Did you just fly to Australia just now? I think, you know what, anything is possible in her mind.
In at number 10, we have 2 girls who have never heard of Buffalo, USA. Or Google. Facebook user Jess wrote, so a buffalo is a kind of bull. How can you get chicken wings off it? Her friend Alicia replied, oh my god, I said that ages ago and everyone laughed at me, and though buffaloes clearly don't have wings, that's why we're friends. They do say that people make friends of equal intelligence. So, Buffalo, for those of you that don't know, is a place in northern New York where the buffalo wing was invented. A quick Google search would have cleared that right up for those wondering. These gals are probably wondering why there aren't actually any whales in Wales. More chicken related Facebook posts up next. In at number 9, one Facebook user is pretty pumped to be having chicken corn on blue for dinner. Good for them, but what? Most importantly, what is corn on blue? What's the blue part? I'm very confused. This Facebooker doesn't seem to quite know either if their use of a question mark is anything to go by. I'm guessing they meant cordon bleu, a French dish of chicken wrapped in meat with a cheese filling, battered in breadcrumbs. Delicious. Definitely no corn or blue involved. In at number 8, one Facebook user is kind enough to wish the Earth a happy birthday. Back on New Year's Day in 2014, a Facebook user with the last name Sternberg wrote, I can't believe the Earth is 2014 years old. Happy birthday, Earth. Babe, no. The Earth has been around for 4.5 billion years, humans thousands of years, and the Gregorian calendar, to which our year corresponds, was made in 0 AD. Before that we counted years in BC, so for example the Egyptian era began in 332 BC. When her friends question her, she says, God made the Earth 2014 years ago today as a birthday present for Jesus. Even if we're able to get on board with the religious aspects, how was Jesus having a birthday before he was even born or even had a home to live in? I'm so confused. If she is so religious, how is she unaware of the years pre-Christ or aware of history or science at all? Okay, so moving on into number 7, we have a rather sassy Facebooker called Liz who wrote, no offense boys, but you're stupid. So let's start with offense. No, I think she means offense, Liz. That's just not how you spell it. Also, what is going on with the full stop after boys? I think you're looking for a comma. Finally, Liz, Y-O-U-R-E, not Y-O-U-R. Don't forget those apostrophes either. Very important. Ultimately, boys, I think we all know who is stupid. Next up, Jess is wondering where all the rich people are these days. She wrote, "Is it just me, or does nobody have manners these days?" Manners. I guess that there's just not enough space for that kind of luxury these days. Jess's friend Matt had the good manners and politely replied to her saying that, like most of us, he just lives in a normal house. Getting water at number 5, one Facebooker spent 10 minutes trying to spell water bottle, and, well, I guess you could say it was 10 minutes wasted. LE, guys. LE. Next up at number 4, it sounds like Rachel is going to need a new credit card. Facebook user Rachel wrote, "Somebody told me you can pay for stuff on the internet by putting your credit card in the CD slot. Is that true? Because that's the smartest thing I've ever heard." Oh honey, I think that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, so. Many people were quick to ask Rachel if she was kidding, to which she wrote, "Ha ha ha, yes. She is kidding." She said, and I quote, "I tried it and it wouldn't take the card. It only takes round cards." Ah yes, those round cards that we call CDs. Shame you can't pay for much with them, but you can listen to music while you shop online and enter your card details at the checkout. Coming on in at number 3, we have a rather confused poor soul just looking for the country of Muslim. Wait, what? The country of where? An anonymous Facebook user who updated their status alongside the emotion of feeling confused wrote, "Just found out that Muslim is a religion. All this time I've been thinking it's a country." One of their friends wrote, "I'm not surprised," which, I mean, firstly, dude, WTF, and secondly, like, wrong again. Muslim isn't a religion. Islam is the religion that Muslims follow, like Judaism is the religion of Jewish people. Double whammy. Wow. I think that the poster, their friends, and the 22 people that like this post maybe need to step outside of their bubble for just like a little bit. This also goes for our number 2. Here we have a user who will remain anonymous to save them from a potential lynching. They wrote, "Just found out Jewish wasn't a country. Confused faced. Who'd have thought, eh? Who'd have thought? I mean, many people." Finally, coming on in at number 1, we have one surefire way to ruin Christmas. Facebook user Kirk wrote, "Just finished the kids' presents." Kirk, no, just put it away, Kirk. His friend Ryan helpfully pointed out that maybe he should check his spelling, because that W literally makes all of the difference. In at number 10, we have dog hobbies. Facebook user Jeannie took to Facebook, like many, to complain about something. She wrote, "Really? The next door neighbor has a new dog that will not stop baking." I mean, the dog's a genius. Really, I don't see what she's annoyed about at all. Unless, I guess, the dog is being selfish about his culinary creations, like wafting the smell of freshly baked cookies out the window, then denying her a taste. That would suck. Way much more than barking, which I guess is what she meant. If only dogs could bake, what a glorious world we would live in. Next up, we have a strong reason why grammar is important. A Facebook user wrote in a group to advise on the dress code for the 2013 homecoming dance. They wrote, "Don't wear black people." I mean, what? Pretty inappropriate, right? Well, like their classmate pointed out, this is why commas are of huge benefit. Without the comma, this comment looks like it is coming from an uneasy member of the KKK. Coming in at number 8, we have the unstoppable Keola. Isn't it hilarious when Facebook users change their Facebook name to something that really enhances their real name? For example, Melanie Angel Babyface Cheeks Jones or Danny the Lolmeister Burke. While this definitely highbrow approach to Facebook can be cool, maybe you should make sure you spell things right before you press that go button. A user named Keola changed their Facebook name to Keola Completely Focused and Unstoppable. Only they made a few typos and that's not quite what it read. Contrary to their Facebook name, it seems that Keola was not quite completely focused when typing this name. They then took to Facebook to write, "So, I changed my Facebook name and didn't realize it's misspelled. Anyone know how to change your name when it tells you you've maxed out your name changes? Question mark, question mark, question mark." Grammar and spelling alone, it seems that Facebook has indeed stopped Keola in their tracks, making them both very unfocused and pretty stoppable. Side note guys, when you have maxed out your name changes, you have to file a report with Facebook and it can take months for you to be able to change it again, so just make sure you are focused and unstoppable. Always. Up next at number 7, we have some extremely questionable history knowledge and film knowledge, and I guess life knowledge in general. Facebook user Shervon wrote, "I think Titanic is fake because how do they record it when they are like all dying in the water? Their ability to spell dying correctly corresponds pretty well with their ability to understand life and the entertainment industry." Their friend Angelica writes, "It's a remake of what actually happened, isn't it?" To which Shervon replied, "So the people in the movie aren't alive?" Oh Shervon, honey, they're actors, they're acting. This is a film set. There is no iceberg. There actually was once in a time long ago before they had big budget cameras, big budget movies, and the ability to record sound. Like, what must Shervon think of superhero movies? Does he think that Batman's real? Is he not a little bit worried about Godzilla coming to destroy his town? I can't even. You may be surprised that Shervon isn't actually alone. We have another movie themed Facebook post up next, this time from someone who can almost spot the fake dinosaurs. Wait, what? One movie enthusiast with a shrewd eye wrote, "I can almost always tell if a movie doesn't use a real dinosaur." I mean, you know that there are no real dinosaurs these days, right? They've been gone for a long time, so yeah. So let's give this person the benefit of the doubt and say that they're trying to say that they can see the difference between CGI and models. They definitely don't believe that Jurassic Park is a real place, right? Coming in at number 5, we have Lance Armstrong, the first man on the moon. Wait, what? An anonymous Facebook poster said, "Say what you want about Lance Armstrong, being the first man to walk on the moon is an amazing achievement. They can never take that away from him. Except they can, because he absolutely was not the first man on the moon. I think you mean Neil." Moving on to number 4, we have a girl who is utterly perplexed by escalators. She wrote, "I was just trapped on the escalator for hours. Power went out." Her confused friend wrote, "Why didn't you just walk down the escalator then, lol?" To which she reiterated that it just wasn't working. Her friend reminded her that an escalator is just moving steps, and did she mean the elevator? Nope, she definitely meant the escalator. Like, honey, she must have wondered why nobody was coming to rescue her. Legs. More confusion from a Facebook user up next at number 3. We have this guy who has just finished celebrating the 10th anniversary of Maps. Woo! They took to Facebook to say, "How did people know what roads to take before Google Maps was made?" To which their friend rightly pointed out that they used maps. This seemed to anger the original poster who wrote, "What? No, I said before Google Maps." But maps. Google didn't invent the map. Maps have existed for thousands of... Do you know what? Never mind. Probably the most confused person in the world ever is coming in at number 2. We have a Facebook user who wrote, "If you put 60 seconds on the microwave, it's different from putting 1.00, because if you add 1.00, it equals 2.00, but if you add 60 plus 60, it equals 120. So 1 minute isn't the same as 60 seconds, because your food will cook less if you press 60 instead of 1.00. I know it's confusing. Honey, you're the only one making this confusing. I'm not sure if I can help you if you don't know that 60 seconds is a minute, but the one button is there to simplify things. So instead of putting 300 in when you want to cook your microwave pasta, you can just hit that glorious 5. It really is meant to simplify things for you so you don't have to do long addition and your brain doesn't hurt. I guess there was no protecting that brain though. Honestly, I kind of just want to give them a hug and tell them it's gonna be okay. Finally, a pair who categorically do not want to hug one another. Let's have a little bit of sass coming in at number 1, shall we? Monique took to Facebook to say, "I hope Mrs. Johansson is at the reunion. She was the best teacher, my favourite of all at CHS." Okay, this is my favourite part. This is where, drumroll, Mrs. Johansson shows up to say she was sorry that she couldn't attend and that she was sorry Larry felt that way. She also noted that her grammar lessons didn't stick too well, which is plain to see. This is where Jack shows up and is like, "LeMayo, burn! Go, Mrs. J." Indignant Larry comes back for another stab at an insult, saying, "W ever, I couldn't say it, so I say it now. You are a bitka." Yes, bitka. Mrs. J is the ultimate in sasperation, as she replies, "Larry, you can barely say it now. Also, you could have said it in high school, as bitka isn't a word. I'm going to use my context clues and assume you were trying to call me a bitch. In that case, I will point out that your Facebook information lets me know that you are currently single and unemployed. Who's the bitch now? Oh, Mrs. Johansson, game, set, match. She has gone from my favourite teacher in my estimation to probably my favourite person in the world. Larry, don't you be stepping to Mrs. J. Sounds like you could have taken some of her advice. Coming in at number 10, Shannon was very quick to post this picture of Dustin's first visa, saying that she was so proud of Dustin and she said he was growing up so fast. But there's one problem. I mean, Shannon honey. Taking a picture of a credit card is a horrible idea because, I mean, we can see the card number and expiry date, it's just there. This is something that one of her friends mockingly pointed out as they thanked her for dinner, their new car, and everything on eBay. Totally fair, I actually would consider this to be idiot tax. Try harder, Shannon. Okay, so let's have a little look at the language of the universe, shall we? Michelle wrote on Facebook, "That's pretty cool, our Miss Universe doesn't even speak English." To which her friend Justin wrote, "What? Should me mandatory speak English? What is the world coming to?" Now, I'm not sure that they don't realise that this isn't the Miss America, Miss Canada, Miss Australia, or the Miss Great Britain pageant. Justin, Michelle, friends, English isn't even the most spoken language in the world, let alone the universe. It's alright though, because Thomas knows the score. He replied, "Why should she speak English? She's from Mexico." To which big man Justin still didn't get the hint and replied, "Then stay there." Finally, Thomas had to explain a few things to his hopeless friends by retorting, "She did stay there. That's how she became Miss Mexico. It's Miss Universe. It includes all the countries." You tell him, Thomas. There is also a good chance that Miss Mexico knows Spanish, which is a language with more worldwide speakers than English. So have you guys ever started watching a TV show from the very beginning? Well, Bess has noticed that something fishy is going on right here at number 8. Bess writes, "I swear every TV show I ever watched has an episode called Pilot. I can think of at least 7. It really bugs me out." Well, Bess, I hate to bug you out even more, but most TV shows have an episode called pilots because these are the first episodes of the shows, usually sent out as a test to see if the series will go well. It doesn't mean that your favourite shows are suddenly gonna take it to the skies for a Mile High episode, just what they call it. Do you have those friends on social media who kind of take any excuse to be a bit more naked than ideally you want them to be? Well, here we have this gal at number 7. Posting, "Love this lipstick colour," alongside an image of a selfie in a bathroom mirror of this lady standing in her undies with like a sass hand on the hips. No, but seriously though, she really just wants you to look at her lipstick. She even used the kiss emoji, so it must be legit. Problem is though, I mean, we can't see it, can we, babe? In fact, the lips are about the only thing we can't see in the picture. Maybe move your camera slightly to the left of your face? Just an idea. Or why not just say what you really mean and write, "My tits though." Honesty is the best policy. Coming in at number 6. One Facebook user shared a link writing, "Hooray for the Japanese boob clamp. Japan, you've done it again. Pearl Harbor, forgiven." Okay, so 1, Hiroshima. Secondly, the link is very clearly for a Chinese boob clamp. It says so in the title. So I guess those Pearl Harbor bad feelings are just back on. I actually feel kind of bad for Japan, credited with what is clearly the greatest invention of all time, only to have it taken away. Anyway, enough about boob clamps, which is a sentence I never thought I would say today. So we are taking it to weird green lemons at number 5. Sam wrote, "Just found a weird green lemon. What is this madness, Sam? What could it possibly be?" Luckily, Richard is on the ball when he writes, "Is it a lime?" Sam, you silly sausage. Sam then wrote, "I'm an idiot," with like one of the faces that looks like this. Idiot face. Idiot recognition face. Don't worry, Sam, babe. I'm guessing it'll all be fine. Just. Keeping it food related at number 4, a poor lost soul posted, "Is an egg a vegetable?" No, it's not a vegetable. So there may not be a cure for dumb, but there certainly is a type of medicine to ease the symptoms. And that, my friends, is Google. Instead of posting stuff on Facebook, just pop this kind of question into Google. Search engines can't laugh at you, but your friends sure as hell can. Okay, so moving on to number 3, we have whatever Ravi is trying to say. He writes, "Fucked up my keyless attendance again. Hardcore, I hear that feeling. You know, that weird bone on the back of your foot." John is on it like a car bonnet and writes, "OMFG Ravi, please stop, you're making this way too easy. It's called an Achilles tendon." By the way, it's not a bone. Keyless attendance. Achilles tendon. Keyless attendance. Ravi wrote LMFAO. I was close. Not that close, Ravi. Really, not that close. Okay, so people who post throwaway quotes on Facebook are kind of irritating anyway, but I mean, if you absolutely have to, at least make sure they aren't, say, totally made up. One lady posted a classic Marilyn Monroe quote. You know the one I mean. She writes, "You know you love someone when you save their texts and reread them when no one's watching." After quoting the actress who died in 1962, the poster wrote, "I so do this." Wait, dead in 1962? That can't be right. How was she reading and saving text before the invention of the mobile phone? This poor anonymous poster then got dragged by her friends, who pointed out that yes, text messaging was invented in the 1980s, while one simply wrote, "I'm so embarrassed for you." Finally, are you ready to get, I guess, actually pretty damn gross? Here we are at number 1 with this absolute G from Mississippi. This big man with a took a picture of his in his underwear, writing, "My goes wherever I go." Unfortunately, from that awkward brown stain in his boxers, I can only assume he goes, well, right where he is, without much regard for toilets or ass wiping. Sir, perhaps there are some places your shouldn't go, and perhaps there are some places pictures like this shouldn't go, including Facebook, public Facebook. Right on into number 10. Falling in love can be a special time, but it can also send people like a little bit mad. It turns out it can also make people significantly dumber too. One lovesick romantic posted this on Facebook. "I think about him 31/7 because he's on my mind even when I'm sleeping." See, that might be the case, and that's really cute and everything, but as this young dreamer's friend points out, a day still only has 24 hours, even when you do or don't sleep. How are they not aware of that? Clocks. Do they ever look at clocks? What about the clocks? Just so confused. Very, very, very confused. Moving on to number 9, nature is beautiful. Now, I love taking pictures of moments of natural beauty, and the sky above us sometimes offers us some moments of like totally exceptional beauty. I absolutely can't blame this Facebook user for documenting it in this delightful snap. There's only one problem here. Look at the caption. Morning sunset. Morning sunset. Morning. If only there was a word for that. Oh, wait, sunrise. Because the sun is rising. A morning sunset would actually be pretty disturbing and would mean that things have gone kind of horribly very wrong. Things are getting pretty frosty at number 8. Don't you guys just love the first snowfall of the year? It makes the whole world look really pretty and shiny and magical. The problem is, people get so excited about the thought of it snowing that they start seeing snow when it really isn't there. Marissa snapped this picture and said, "Oh my god, there's snow on the ground, I'm so excited." And like, I feel you, Marissa, but that's definitely salt. It's just a small pile of salt. Surely Marissa must have been wondering why it had only like snowed in a really specific area. Also, if that was snow, there is really barely enough to get excited about there. Let's crack on into number 7. Peyton took to Facebook to share how very over someone she is. She wrote, "1 universe, 9 plants, 204 countries, 7 seas, 6 billion people, and you think I need you?" Ha! I mean, I'm glad you're a strong and independent sasspot, but can we just talk about these all-important 9 plants? 9 plants. Good. I totally get it though, sometimes I would rather have 9 plants than a life partner. Let's just take a wild guess and assume that she meant to say planets. But I mean, like, I don't want to step on Peyton's sass wagon or anything, but in that universe that she mentions, there are more than 9 planets. And plants, incidentally. Without getting into that whole Pluto debate, there are 9 planets in our solar system alone, and it's thought that our galaxy has 100 billion planets. So I mean, just a lot to learn for Peyton. Let's do this, number 6. I am ready for you. Sometimes we all need a little extra encouragement in life, especially when we're going through a hard time. Although Nicole kinda missed the mark a touch when she wrote, "What kills you makes you stronger." And like, I mean, that's a nice idea and everything, but what kills you, you know, kills you dead. So let's move on to number 5. Now, I love me a good reptile. From like a safe distance, snakes are pretty cool, and I love me a lizard, and I can definitely dig a turtle. But this gal, she's indecisive. She posted, "Oh my god, so I don't like dolphins anymore. Squirrels are my new favorite reptiles. So cute." It seems like reptiles are baffling more than just one Facebook user on this list. Coming into number 4, Jonathan saw this picture on Facebook and then decided to write, "That bird is fat." Like, firstly, Jonathan, didn't your mother never teach you that if you have nothing nice to say, you should probably say nothing at all? And secondly, that is a turtle and not a bird. Like, very clearly a turtle. We have some classic 4th of July confusion at number 3. A true classic. I get it, like dates can be very confusing. Like Easter, for example, has a different date each year because of some pretty intense moon calculations. Some holidays, however, fall on the same day every year, like Christmas, which makes things much easier. Unfortunately, nothing seems to be easy for Ninny though. Ninny is lost. She posted, is the 4th of July on the 16th or the 15th? I mean, I guess read it out loud in your head before posting, cause hun, the 4th of July is on the 4th of July because it's the 4th of July. The plot thickens as Ninny's friends responded, it's the 15th, and I'm like, what kind of alternate universe are we living in? I'm so confused. Okay, I actually love this at number 2. One bright spark wanted to raise a little extra cash, so they thought that they would sell their phone via Facebook. Sure, I'm with you. When it got to the bit where they were gonna take a photo of their phone to show off to potential buyers, they realized that they had a bit of a problem. Yeah, so you're gonna have to check out their post because it is priceless. So they wrote, the phone is not in the picture because I used it to take the photo, but it's that exact height, length and width. Hit me up if interested. Pictures of their hands. I don't know. So if that is the exact height and width measurement, like depicted by the hands, then I'm kind of impressed. But also, like, dude, just Google the phone and post an image of the model. Or, like, borrow a friend's phone to snap a picture. Work it out. Finally, guys, let's see what number 1 has in store for us. Now, this makes me feel a bit sad because someone's just gonna be really disappointed at the end of the year. So, a quick thinker, a quick saver, has started a 365-day penny jar. Now, they said that if they put a penny in it every day for a year, they'll have $667.95 at the end, which, I mean, doesn't take a genius to tell you that if you put a penny in a jar every day for 365 days, well, you'll have 365 pennies, right? And that's very far away from $600+. It's $3.65, which really is barely enough to buy you a sandwich. I actually think it's even barely enough to buy you a coffee at Starbucks these days. It's getting pretty pricey. If you do want the advertised $667.95, then you'll need to save $1.83 a day, which is 183 pennies, so I'm thinking that actually they're gonna need a bigger jar. Maybe a bigger brain.